I started off by 3D modeling, and yeah, I did feel pretty freaking smart about it.
Did I mention I fucking love calipers?
I dusted off my 3D resin printer. I tried to clean the alcohol bath tank that I used to use. After sitting dormant for a couple years, it was forbidden caramel at that point, so I had to use some new alcohol and gave them a nice little bath. I then cured them under UV light, and I also 3D modeled the straw and the hat painstakingly, but it did not work out well with my filament printer, so I decided to make them out of polymer clay myself later. I tried to use paint markers to avoid having to clean brushes, but I wasn't enthused about the results, so I ended up switching to acrylic anyway and using some dotting tools. I was able to get away with using a paint marker to add the super detailed Starbucks logo on each one. Now time to make the aforementioned hats. A palette knife is probably high-key my favorite craft supply in existence. I glazed them up, and then it was time to pick my 2 favorite out of my 6 children. These 2 would be spared from the future torture in this video, so here's the 2 lucky selections, and I decided to fill these with just regular kind of coffee, or the approximation of regular coffee I could make with baby oil. Actually, this one's filled with UV resin that I dyed with alcohol ink. Realized I did not make enough. Oops, time to make a new batch of coffee. I tried my best to kind of seep down what were supposed to be like milk lines in coffee, whatever the fuck you call those. But I remembered that UV resin, the alcohol ink doesn't spread as well as when you do it in regular 2-part resin, so whoops, but I cured it anyway. On the other one, I painted in those milk lines. Lactation, nope, I'm gonna stop trying to name it. I knew going into it that coloring baby oil is a bitch in a fucking quarter half turn, so oops. I found this out before when I was trying to make resin shakers with baby oil colored, and whoever the fuck said that food coloring would work in baby oil to color it, I'm your biggest op now. I did find that my vitriol, not my hatred, but I think it's called vitriol or something, I don't know, PBO paint product did work, because I think it's oil-based. Don't quote me. I need to look into the science, but that seemed to work. Yay, now I made 2 little cute coffee-filled bears. Now moving on to the atrocities. Let me tell you, I left with a new appreciation of how fucking strong resin prints can be. The stomping didn't work, the hammering didn't work, I tried and I tried and I tried to destroy these things. But then I was like, well, time to Attack on Titan this shit, I guess. So I ended up using pliers to rip them apart, and I was pleasantly surprised that the heads came off pretty clearly on a couple of them, so that was neat. And then I started creating my hierarchy of bears. The one at the top was this bear that's in complete condition. It's not been destroyed. And I realized, though, too late, that I should have added in the gold coins before I shot an E6000 the hat onto its head. So whoops, this was a really painful process. Now it's assembly time. And if you didn't gather by now, I'm making it look like they're in a sea of blood, fake blood out of UV resin, alcohol ink, and then using a UV lamp to cure it as I go. I put Mr. Moneybags on the very tippy top. I wasn't satisfied with the opaqueness of the blood. I even Googled how opaque is blood. So I decided to paint the back of it with acrylic red paint so that it would look opaque on the other side and look nice. More glazing had to be done, and then I checked my work. Lastly, I added a bail because if you like it, then you should have put a bail on it. Final results, here's the two chosen ones. They are just cups of coffee. And here's my monstrosity, a critique on capitalism, corporate greed, etc., etc. I call it trickle-down economy, and I did make it into a necklace so I can wear it around my neck like the shackles of industry. Okay, subscribe or something. Bye.